Good morning. Can everybody hear me? Would you type yes into the chat room if you can hear me okay? Just test the audio. Wonderful. So good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Happy New Year, everyone. My name is Tina Chen, and I have been hosting some of these webinars with Donna and with different teachers, especially Chinese teachers, throughout the last, I don't know how many years. And it's my honor and my privilege to be here this year again with Dr. Chang, hosting gonna be the most interesting series of courses this year. He will be giving this type of classes on his discovery of new herbs in his clinic in 2023. And he will be, sharing all his clinically effective secret formulas with us. So can I have a show of, actually in the chat room, if you can type into the chat room, if this is your first time with Dr. Chang. If you have never learned from Dr. Chang before, this is your first time, can you type in first time? Wow, a lot of first time. Great. So if this is your first time, it might be a bit confusing because he doesn't use herbs traditionally like all the other rest of the herb teachers. So there's some herb teachers who use raw herbs, some herb teachers who use extract herbs, and he uses the extract powders exclusively from us at Evergreen Herbs. So I'll go over that a little bit with you on how he uses herbs. So this next 2 hours won't be so confusing as he's talking about the percentages and the combination of herbs. Okay, I'll give you a little intro. And another interesting thing that we notice is that we have students from all over the world. And Dr. Chang is wondering if you can put down, if you're not from the United States, can you put down where you're from, watching from? And he would like to give you a gift of next class for free, whoever is the furthest from LA. Mexico, Chile, Netherlands, Portugal. Wow, everywhere. That's great. Okay, we will go back. Donna will help me look at who is the furthest and then contact you. Yeah, pretty much in the United States, using herbs is pretty prevalent. FDA does not have a lot of rules and regulation because herbs are still considered a dietary supplement. But in the other countries, probably not as easy. So I don't know how you guys do that, but the use of herbs is definitely half of Chinese medicine. Okay, so let's go on with today's class with the lecture notes. Let's go to the intro section, and I'll go over briefly, just taking up maybe 5-10 minutes to go over what kind of herbs Dr. Chang uses, so you have an idea. So number one is what type of herbs, just like I was telling you, he uses the extract powder form. So we have about 300 single herbs and 100 formulas. And his clinic, he has a pharmacy of about, I would say 150, about 150, right? Single herbs and formulas, all on two sides of the shelf. And if you want to take a look at his pharmacy and how he mixes herbs for his patients, I put a link down in the lecture notes for you. So feel free to take a look at that during break or later on, all right? Let's go on to the next page. Okay, so the evolution of formula. So when I first met Dr. Chang about 30 years ago, he has different formulas that he has put together in his clinic that he has found effective. It's kind of like the evolution of formulas like 四君子汤 and then turning into 八珍汤 and then later turning into 十全大补汤, this type of concept. So he has his own formulations that he uses a lot in his practice, and he would call it a specific name, whatever the formula is for. And sometimes he would have an evolution of that formula, as he sees more patients, he would tweak it and he would call it the same name, but with the 2.0 at the end. So sometimes if you see that, that's what that means. So there's a version 1 and a version 2, okay? And number 3, if you're not familiar with what is the concept of 方家方, which is pretty much combining different formulas together so that you can yield a better effect. And you can do that with raw herbs, or you can do that with extract formulas. Because with the extract formulas, each formula is extracted, decocted, and extracted together. So the end ingredient is not the same as 4 single herbs mixed together. So that concept of mixing formula plus formula is really mixing the effect of each individual formula rather than mixing the single ingredients together. It's kind of like if you wanted to cook tomato soup. If you cook the ingredients of the tomato soup separately in different pots and at the end mix them together, it's not going to taste the same as if you were to cook it together. So the concept of fang jia fang is to use formula plus formula instead of all single herbs to achieve this overall better therapeutic effect in the clinic. Now, if that doesn't, what I just said doesn't make much sense to you, there's a YouTube video where Dr. Chang explained what is fang jia fang, so he can explain it better than me, and it's a little bit longer, so you understand the concept. And for him, when he gives patients the herbs, it's either in a 100-gram bottle or 150-gram bottle. For those who travel from afar, he will usually give them a little bit more. Or for some chronic diseases, he would prescribe 150 grams. And in that way, give them a discount on the herbs too. All right, next page. So each bottle for the patient is 100 grams, and he has the patient take 3 spoonfuls, the little spoons that we ship with the herbs, 3 times a day, 2 or 3 times a day. And then number 5, I want to go over how to read Dr. Chang's formula. So in today's lecture notes, you will see the formulas like this. If you look at it, it says, this one says anxiety combo. So he has an anxiety combo that's the ingredients include 血府足浴汤, 温胆汤, 栀子. So when he has a formula with a comma and another formula, and then the little at 35, that means 血府足浴汤 is 35, 温胆汤 is 35, and then 栀子 at 30. So that adds up to 100. Okay, does that make sense? If there's no number behind a formula or behind a single herb, it's pretty much the same as the next one, wherever the at, the little at sign is. Okay, let's go to the next page. Okay, then some people ask, do you have to mix the herbs yourself in your clinic? Yes, you can. You can mix the formulas yourself, and I included a link for you on how to mix the formulas. You don't want to mix the formula. Some of the formulas that Dr. Chang has been using year after year, we put them into, we pre-made them into formulas, the collection formula, like circulation sanjiao, astringent complex, herbal ABX, etc. But a lot of the new formulations we haven't, because Dr. Chang is just testing them, and he hasn't been using the same consistent formula for over a year, so we haven't made them into a formula yet. But feel free to mix it yourself, and then maybe even come up with your own custom formula. Okay, so that's all. And let's welcome Dr. Chang. And so he will take over from here.
Mike, is this one?
Yes.
Okay, let's begin. Can you hear me now? Okay, this is Dr. Chen. I'm very happy to be here and to give you some of my share with some of you, with you guys, with some of my experience of using Chinese herbs. And today we're gonna do something very interesting, and it's a very popular condition. I'm sure you all be facing a condition like this, okay? Doctor, I'm so tired. And that wasn't, doctor checked me with all the blood tests and everything. Everything just seemed to be fine, but I'm still tired. What am I supposed to do? Now it's our job to find out what's wrong and how do we treat, how do we help with the patient. Actually, this seminar, I'm trying to do a different approach by sharing this concept. Usually, I don't do this in this sequence. I do my pulse diagnosis, my body diagnosis, everything, and then I tell the patient what's wrong with him. You're tired, you're so lack of energy, whatever. Then I do the treatment. But we cannot do it here, so we just let's pretend that we already have the complaint from the patient. Well, today, the major thing is fatigue. the major complaint from the patient, it's not headache, it's not back pain, it's not digestion problem, it's just tired. Doctor, help me with my fatigue. Okay. So the part one is a fatigue. The second part is a fibromyalgia. That's even more interesting. We have to find out the reason and the differential diagnosis might find out why this patient is suffering from tiredness. Usually we're not supposed to use all the tonifying agents to make the people more energetic. Sometimes we use something very funny, like a blood moving herbs combination or anti-inflammatory stuff to help them to regain their energy. So let's begin. Okay, I'm sure most of you have learned my pulse diagnosis and my pulse positions. We don't have much time to tell you the basic hand methods and other things. You can check the internet. You can check the YouTube. I got a lot of pulse diagnosis classes on the YouTube. It's free. You can check my system, my pulse positioning, and everything. So the first part, when we start taking the pulse, I don't ask first. Usually I do the don't ask drill, but I'm not asking to do it now. But let's start with my sequence. I always do from the right hand first. So the right cun is the lung. Oh, I touch the right cun. Okay. Ooh, what's wrong with the right cun? Right cun is the lung and the large intestine. The right cun is weak and scattered. The word scattered means the pulse is no shape. You cannot feel the shape of the pulse. There are two elements to make a complete pulse sign is the shape and the jump. The shape of a pulse can be thin, thick, or floating, or deep. The jump can be weak and strong. So simple. Put these two elements together, you'll get a complete pulse signs. And this one is no jump and no shape. What do you mean no shape? The pulse should look like, feel like a tube like this. But in this case, it just disappeared. We call it scattered. You cannot find the pulse rim, the boundary of the vessel. So we call it's a weakness, a pure weakness from the lung. Not necessarily the bronchial or asthma or cold something. It's for the respiratory system. The qi, there's no qi to come in, and people get very tired. Of course, qi means oxygen. How can you be energetic without the oxygen? So we do it here. If the right cun is weak and scattered, I use this. The combination is easy to understand. Okay. 人参养荣汤. 人参 is a very famous herb. Yang means nourish. Yin, actually, this word means blood. To tonifying the blood. How do you know the patient is anemic or not? It's very easy. All you have to do is ASM. Can they see this? You can check your patients, the pericardium 7, there's a pericardium channel here. Usually, before I take the pulse, I always ask my patient, come on, let me see your hands. Let's take the hands out. If I see this area is pale, looks so like a piece of white paper, no light from behind, from underneath, we call this definitely a kind of condition of an anemia. So no blood. And the patient might have a very low blood pressure. I always encourage you to have the patient's blood pressure taken before entering or before sitting in front of you. So you can tell a little basic concepts for the patient's body type. So when the place is anemic, we must tonify the blood. Okay, the 人参养银汤, 十全大补. 十全大补 is 十全, 十 means 10, 全 means all, 大 means big, 补 means tonifying. Oh, 十全大补. It's a combination of 四君子 and 四无汤. Put them out together to tonify the blood and qi and something, one qi, So that's a very important ingredient. Together, they call it 十全大补. 十 means 10. There are 10 herbs in the formula. There are two other places I use 十全大补. First is for lady who want to get pregnant. We should always check her hormonal balance, hormonal condition. If the lady is suffering from low testosterone or too high testosterone or not enough estrogen, progesterone or something, I'm going to show you where to find their hormone condition from the pulse. If they're weak, I use like 20% 十全大补. In addition to all those hormonal combination, like my 6 C's and everything, to make them a better ovulation condition. And the second place I use 十全大补 is for cancer patient. When cancer patient, in addition to some other popular ingredients, I use 十全大补 like 30% for the cancer patient, no matter what. Okay, the final combination of this is a magical combination for a weak qi deficiency, which causes fatigue. Because how can you get qi energy without the oxygen in your body? So 五味子, I use 15 and 黄芪 25 to make it 40. This is a dead combination. 五味子 is a sour. 五 means 5. 味 means taste. This seeds, I bet you only see, I know you only see the powder, but you never seen the real seeds. It's black and tastes spicy, warm, and sour and sweet. A lot of it tastes in one small fruit. And 五味子 is so good for liver and everything because it's sour. Sour means astringent, so you could bring the qi back. And huang qi is the qi for is the tonifying agent for the surface and inside. So put them together, we can open up the appetite and enhancing the air intake from the outside. So I put them all together. I call it energy combo. This always comes to my mind when I'm facing a weak right cun pulse. Okay, so but you have to be careful when you use the 十全大补. You have to be sure that the patient, the blood pressure is kind of low, not for those high blood pressure people. A lot of people with high blood pressure, with actually you can tell something from the appearance of the patient. If they're big and chubby, be careful, don't use this. If they are a skinny girl with a so pale looking and the anemia condition, then you can use this. But be careful, there's something with, I call it the hidden hypertension, that the pulse is weak like this and the patient looks so pale. You don't need a specialist, you don't need anything, a rocket scientist to tell you that she's anemic. But her blood pressure can be sky high. That's what I call this hidden blood pressure. It's from the kidney failure. So make sure, I always encourage you to have the patient's blood pressure taken before sitting in front of you. If the blood pressure is low, and this, definitely you can use this energy combo. You can pre-mix it in your office like the Tina explained it earlier. So a bottle of this, I have a lot of big jars from Costco and put several my pre-mix combination there. The energy combo is one of them. Okay. Whoa. Okay. The second one is the spleen digestion. This place is on the right guan area and deep and weak. Oh, how do you know this patient is suffering from a weak digestion system? There are two signs before you take the pulse. Hey, Sam. Can you see it? First is the shape of the finger. If this area is narrow like this, then that means bad, weak digestion. Mine is pretty good. I eat a lot. If somebody's like this, the finger is like this, narrow in the middle. That means poor digestion and poor immune system. The second is here, this area. And they can see it. Yeah. If you see some whatever, you see some blue veins there, that means a cold, weak stomach here, this side. If it's straight, that's the lumbar. And in this direction, that's stomach. Then we might have to find the pulse. The right one is deep and weak, no rebound. No rebound means, when we take the pulse, if you look at my all those videos, you see when we take the pulse, like we are feeding 3 springs under each finger, the rebound should be relatively strong. If the rebound is very weak, that means when you push down, the pulse is gone. How come it's gone? The pulse is just like a blood vessel, artery, supposed to transfer blood flow. So how come it just disappeared? It does. It's just gone. When you push down, there's no rebound underneath. That means it's weak. So simple. Then you have only one choice to strengthen his digestive problems. Because when the digestion is no good, so no matter what medicine he's taking or what food, even he's taking big steak every day with a poor digestion, his body cannot absorb all the nutrition from the food. So nothing was inside his body to make him strong. So he definitely feel tired. So actually, we should deal with the digestion system. Actually, it's first than this one. 半夏泻心汤、安中散、阁下足鱼汤. You see, all the 3 formulas are not like the previous energy combo, 十全大补 something. This is just for digestion purposes, not for tonifying. 半夏泻心汤 is the best for a bloated middle jaw. Why bloated? Because people always eat too fast and swallow the air into the stomach because it's so full and he cannot eat anymore. Just one little piece and it's full. So no energy into his body, no fuel. 安中散 is for cold and weak digestion system, cold and weak stomach. And 阁下足鱼汤,阁 means diaphragm, 下 means under. So the 阁下足 means expel, 鱼 means dead blood. So put this dead blood away in the middle jaw like a blockage. When it's removed, the patient will feel so released, not so bloated anymore. So he will be having more appetite and more ability to eat. Then the patient will have a better energy. This is not tonifying. This is like a clearing the middle jaw, the lead food in. And in Chinese medicine, the spleen, the middle jaw is earth. And the lung here as jin, as qi. So actually, the energy should come from the stomach. Yeah, that's very easy to understand. People have to eat to get better energy. So if the patient is weak, do not give him this energy combo first. Check if there's something wrong with his digestion system. Maybe we should deal with the digestion system first. Then he will have more qi from the food. He'll be able to absorb. Okay?